Today we're going to talk about the 7 things to consider when hiring a graphic designer. Presented by Impression Graphics. Your brand starts here. When it comes to things to consider when hiring a graphic designer, you want to think of the long haul. Many business owners resolve a long-term problem by focusing on short-term costs. For example, if you need a logo and brochure by tomorrow, and you need it to be as cheap as possible, you're going to sacrifice quality and consistency just to save a few bucks. Clients are going to constantly compare you to your competitors based on visual perception. If they don't perceive you as putting an effort into valuing your image, they won't value your image either. We call short-term jobs like this piecemeal jobs. In order to bring down the cost, a designer needs to cut costs in corners. A designer will not have time to invest into researching your business. And when we skip a vital part of the design process like this, we won't learn your needs, your goals, or your visions of your business, and most importantly, what your competitors are doing. You want your designer to be a partner in your success, one who will collaborate with you on your goals, your plans, and the strategies of your business. You want them to research your competitors to see what they're doing. You also want them to learn about your business and your customer needs. And most importantly, you want them to pay attention to small but often overlooked details such as fonts, colors, printing, and even paper, which will ultimately affect your brand's appearance. You also want to get the details in writing. I'm sure we've all heard horror stories of designers taking payment but not delivering the quality of service that was expected, or worse, they did not provide the service at all. A contract may be intimidating and unnecessary, but it's the best way to ensure that the job gets done the way it was agreed upon in the beginning. This ensures that both parties understand what they're getting into, and it makes sure that details are not forgotten or misunderstood. It also explains who gets the rights of the design, who covers printing costs, the production schedule, what happens if a job is canceled, and things like payment terms. The third thing that you want to consider when hiring a graphic designer is to make sure that you like their style. Style is one of the biggest factors when it comes to seeking a designer. His or her style should reflect your vision. You want to look at the portfolios of several designers. If you're opening a flower shop, you wouldn't want to work with a designer whose style is full of dark images and heavy typography. It'd be very difficult for that designer to obtain the look that you're envisioning. You also want to look at experience. A designer with more experience will be more expensive than someone out of school. But you have to remember that experience takes your branding to the next level and will stay with you through all the phases of growth in your business. A less experienced designer will make beginner mistakes. They often spend precious time on revisions, they require more attention from you, and ultimately cost you more in the long run. You also want to be aware of who is doing the work. Some firms actually farm out the job, which often your job gets passed around from designer to designer. Consistency may be compromised, and it may be difficult to know the status of your job. Small agencies will more than likely give you more attention. You always want to ask for a designer's references or testimonials. You want to make sure your designer isn't leaving a trail of unhappy customers. Are they willing to work with you on your vision, or are they stubborn and only want to do things their way? Your designer should be knowledgeable enough to make suggestions, provide creative problem solving, and offer constructive criticism. Lastly, when it comes to things to consider when hiring a graphic designer, is you always want to discuss costs. You don't want to base your decision on short-term costs. You want to look at the bigger picture and your brand image as a whole. Inevitably, it's going to come down to the question of how much do you charge for blank? This question is like asking a home builder how much it costs to build a house. It can be built any size and with the bare basics or lots of upgrades. It's important to know what you want before talking to a designer so that they can give you very accurate pricing. Some additional things to consider is that you want to research the going rate in your area for a designer. It can range anywhere from $15 to $200 an hour. You want to take the fear out of the unknown price. Designers will often estimate the job's total cost based on the number of hours it will take. After researching portfolios, you want to talk to your top 2 favorite designers about your project. Ask them how previous jobs were priced. And if you need them to work within a specific budget, ask if that can be done. You also want to be aware of lowball designers who undercut and lowball every job, just to try to get an edge over another designer. These designers are more concerned with getting your money than they are about the well-being of your overall business and your overall branding. And remember, you ultimately get what you pay for. Be open about your needs and your limitations. A great designer will work with you on any level. Thank you, and please visit our website, www.impressiongraphics.com, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn for a full list of videos, products and services, and upcoming seminars.